Today, I am joined by one of our members. It's member Hot Seat. And this gent has been working up with us since the beginning of 2024. We're in November of 2024 right now, depending on when you're listening to this. So around about 10 to 11 months, we've been working together. Throughout the course of this year, he's completely transformed both his mind and body, and has actually become a really good friend of mine. And he's actually roped me into doing a London to Brighton cycle with him next summer, which I am looking forward to. But that's something he did this summer. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let him introduce himself. This is Gops who is on. And yeah, mate, welcome. Thank you for agreeing to have a chat with me.
That's all right. Thanks for having me, Nick.
No worries at all. I guess the best way to start this is do just give people that don't know you a little bit of an intro into you, like nothing deep or anything like that, but just like who you are, family, job, like, just what life is roughly like for you. What are the relatable points to people potentially? So yeah, just give us a little bit of an intro, man.
Yeah, so originally born from Kenya, came to UK in 2000, ran out. So I've been here for most of my life. And yeah, got two beautiful kids and a wife. Um, and yeah, I work as an IT consultant in the city. So
Nice.
when I'm in work, I normally cycle down. Um, but yeah, just a normal Indian guy, living in
Nice. Okay, so two kids, wife, full-time job, IT, so desk-based as well. So yeah, just like, like most people that would be listening to this, similar sort of lifestyle, the similar hustle and bustle to your life that you would have with having kids and a full-time job and things like that. Um, why did you want to change? We had a little bit of, before I dive into this, actually, me and you had a few conversations prior to you actually starting. There was a little bit of back and forth, maybe like a month prior, 2 months prior, you sort of reached out, you sort of inquired about it, asked a little bit, but then eventually it sort of came to around about, I think, end of January time, and you're like, yep, I want to go on this change. I want to do this change. So what was the reason for bringing about why you wanted to do something like this?
Yeah, so I knew fitness was really good for me. At this day and age, mental health is very important. My mindset was all over the place as well. So I reached out to you and a few other online PTs thinking that, I need to change, but never made that commitment. So what I did instead, I tried to do it myself, trying to save money, I guess. And done YouTube, asked friends for advice, um, tried a lot of different things and couldn't keep consistent. I used to eat, like I said, I used to eat rabbit food all day long, trying to make things work. But I never, I saw the benefits for like 3 months, then I just fall off again, go back to square one. Maybe in summer, I'll start my fitness journey again, and by winter, I'm back to square one. So never knew what I was doing. For example, like when I joined with you, Nick, you told me tracking is quite important, and I can see the real benefits now. So I never knew what I was doing. And I thought, you know what, I just need to. My wife was into it as well. She wanted to do something. I thought, you know what, it's a new year. Nah, let's get the right people, right knowledge, and get the right help.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So it was like very much like, I'll try and figure this out for myself. I'll do this myself. You went around in those circles and cycles, and then eventually you're like, nah, enough is enough. You must have reached a point where you're like, nah, I want to do something about this properly and I want to get this sorted once and for all. And then you bit the bullet and you haven't looked back since, man.
Oh yeah, and just on that, when I came to you, I didn't really care too much about my body. I knew I was overweight, but not overweight. I just wanted, I reached out to you. I said, look, Nick, just sort my mindset out. That's the thing that I'm struggling right now. So
Yeah. Yours was more around sort of like creating some structure and routine and just, being able to find that balance between family, work, and then fitting in your fitness, obviously, then, fitting in that fitness now has completely sort of transformed that balance with work and life. And, you're a much more calmer, cooler, collective type person,
mhm,
right?
yeah, exactly. I always say, every time we have a conversation here and there, I always say to you, I'm a changed man. You
Yeah.
changed my life, sort of thing, and we can talk more about this a bit later, but. a lot of benefits that I didn't expect from this program, put it that way.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Um, what was life like before? Like, give me an idea of a day in the life of Gops before finding this structure, this routine, this healthy lifestyle. Talk me through what a day would look like for you.
Before was um honestly, I'll go to the gym, maybe spend about 10 minutes thinking, what should I do now? Never had a real structure. Be there for about an hour and a half, thinking I've done really good. Um, keep then they'll go for a run, come home, and I'll feel good for like for the first few hours, think I've done a really good workout. But then after, just had a normal dinner, like I normally would do. Um, so that was my fitness lifestyle. In terms of food lifestyle, and I remember me saying this to you, Nick, as well. Um, when you told me, I want you to monitor, I just want to monitor what you're doing with food at the moment. And I reached out to you and I said, yep, this is what I'm gonna have for breakfast. Sorry, you reached out to me and said, like, what I'm gonna have for breakfast. And I said, tea and biscuit. And said that we could cut that out. Um, so before my lifestyle, because I'm from a Kenya background, my mom and dad are from Kenya. I was born in Kenya. Food was a big thing for us. So, before breakfast used to be tea, gero, and biscuits. Then 2 hours later, it's like, did I have breakfast? Maybe I never had breakfast. Go downstairs and maybe get some gunters out. Then, come to lunchtime. What should we do? Me and my wife, what do we eat? What do we eat? So out comes out a sandwich, or we go out to eat and get some chips, get chips, snacks, and all that stuff. And then dinner, that was a little bit planned, but never a proper plan. So that it was whatever. It was leftovers from night before, or my mother gone to a wedding and she just brought some food around, or just eat whatever and what we want. There's no real thinking about what we're doing with our food stuff.
So the
Um,
general gist that I'm getting from this is that it was almost structureless, right? It was just like whatever's about, it would be just like kind of looking and then just grabbing and putting together. Same with the gym, you kind of go in and sort of like, right, what will I do today? Scratch your head for a little bit, kill some time on the bike or the cardio machines, and then be like, right, I'm warmed up, and then you just do whatever sort of thing, right? And that sort of transferred over to food potentially as well from time to time.
yeah, I guess the main thing here was because my father, he was into building. My dad was a builder. My mom, they used to do whatever cleaning or whatever household stuff. They never, you know, they never thought like how important food was. Like my dad and my father, they're active. They can have
Yes.
tea on their broccoli. They can have this, but they never passed that knowledge down. It was just having full carbs, full meals, which were not fit for our current day and age purpose. Where my job is more office-based
Yes,
job
yeah.
now.
Yeah, they
So
need all of the carbs and those sources for being out on a site all day where they're out, like my father-in-law as well. Like, he'd come home from work and he'd have his Fitbit on and see his step count for the day. I'm like 20,000 steps killed just from like being on a building site. Then you add in all of the lifting and things like that that they're doing, running up and down multiple stories. Of course, they're going to eat that way because they need that energy, right? It's like they're doing a marathon every day, basically. So
yeah,
and then yeah,
no,
you carry that over and then you sit down on a desk-based job, it's going to be different, isn't it?
exactly. And I thought the right thing for me to do is maybe just go out for a run, and that's my fitness done, sort of thing. So yeah, the piece was definitely missing there. But yeah, life before joining Affinity, I would say I never invested in myself, in my health or anything. Um, and yeah, I thought I was doing stuff right, but yeah, now looking back at it, I wasn't. I picked up a lot of bad habits.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Um, Tell me a little bit about where you are now. Talk to me about like the results, kilos down, mindset, what you have achieved over the last year, um, the accomplishments that you've done, because you've done a few events and things like that. Can you just give the listener an idea of what it is that you've achieved over the last few months?
A lot, Nick, a lot. You know, even if I was to change my name, I've changed completely different person, different mindset. 20 kgs down, or maybe even more than that. Running twice a week, gym 4 times a week, cycle to work once a week. Even like now, when I'm cycling to work, I can move better. I can look back on my rear view to see the cars and everything. Just maneuver is much better. Um, getting to work from Harrow to Baker Street quicker than the train. Um, yeah, a lot, and also like that's all my physical well-being, but even like mentally, and the other aspects of my life, like spending more time with my kids, family, spending more time outdoors, not watching Netflix all day. Even like knowing that my kids are currently on half term, so knowing them that they just sit at home is not good for them. Good for them. So even like 1 hour, I'll take them out to the park, break the day up, um, completely changed my life. Um, More energy. Um, the new challenges that I face at work, I look forward to it. Even like, you know, if I was to say before at 11 o'clock in the morning, I used to think about food. But now at 11 o'clock in the morning, I think about what's next for me to plan. I mean, sorry, what's there next on my gym session for me in the morning, So different
Yeah,
minds completely change. Um, the way this program has taught me, the food thinking is just out of my head. That's just does normally.
on
Because I mean,
autopilot now.
yeah, and because we are eating more healthy, I guess the food occasion when we're going out, socially, socializing with friends, family, and when we eat out, we enjoy it a bit more. It's not, yeah, completely changed my life.
Excellent, man. Um, I'm going to ask you about the whole sort of investing in yourself because I know there was concerns about it. This is the first time that you've ever done something like this and invested in yourself and things like that. And obviously, it's a big concern as well, right? Like the programs that we offer come with a financial investment. So, what would you say to someone that is potentially sort of maybe concerned about the investment or worried about the investment, and what's your experience of it now?
Um, so yeah, initially, when initially this is why I was putting it off because of the investment. So it can be quite a big investment, but now looking at it, I think I told you once or twice, Nick, your program's too cheap on the values that you were getting out from here. But if I were, say if you invest X amount right now, whatever it is, and if you was to divide it by say 5 years, because once you learn from all the values and all how to do the things the right way, the right habits, the right way to do the stuff and have the right structure. Once you learn that, say you're in a program with yourself for about a year or 2 years or whatever it is, once you learn it, when you divide it by five, it's nothing because the value that and it's not just 5 years, you probably last for the rest of your life. But I'm just using the 5 years as an example. Once you divide it by 5 years, all the happiness that you gain, all the money that you're saving from eating out, all the energy that you gain as well. I didn't realize, like, doing, was it 5 hours? Say you can gym 5 times a week, that's 1 hour a day, that's 5 hours a week. You put 5 hours, a week in, and you put 1 hour a day on your fitness, you get more time you get more energy to do more stuff. If I don't go to the gym right now, maybe if I haven't been in the gym for the last 3 days, I'm sitting there watching Netflix and wasting my life. But now I'm doing things differently
So, man,
and take my kids out, all that sort of stuff. So I'm really happy that I made this investment. Um, there's things that from small to big. So like from small, when I'm if I was to get before, if I was to go out to get a pint of milk, I used to take my car, but now I walk it to Morrison's, which is about 20 minutes up and 20 minutes back down, and get my steps in, and I feel much better. That's small changes. And the big changes is like you know, never done center parks before. Always used a plane to go abroad or to other destinations overseas. But this year, because of my mindset, the challenges, I like to face new challenges, experience new things. This year, I actually took the car out on Eurostar, planned it myself, packed all our food in a car, took two kids with me and my wife, went to a centre park destination in Brussels, drove up there, and once we'd done it, it was like so easy, and we
Yeah,
were
like,
definitely going to.
yeah,
So if I didn't make this investment, I wouldn't even think of doing that stuff, you know. But
100%.
yeah, I would still say, like, I think Nick, the value that you're getting from here is quite cheap. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I haven't told him to say that, by the way, if you're listening. Uh, um, one question that, again, something else that comes up a lot is time. I don't have the time. And I think you were in a similar position before. Okay. If you don't mind me saying this, you were very flustered and stressed when you started, right? A lot going on. Work was busy. Family life was busy. Oh, I've got to sort the kids out. I've got to take them to after school classes, this on the weekends. How am I going to sort out my food? How am I going to sort out my training? Like, it feels like, whoa, like crazy. Loads of stuff to do over here. Does it take that much time? That's the question that I want to ask because people have, that's the number one question. Is this going to take a whole bunch of my time? Is it going to pull me away from work? Is it going to pull me away from time with the kids and my wife and things like that? What's your perspective on that?
No, it doesn't. Initially when I started the program, I thought this is going to take a lot of time, but it doesn't. You know, it does take time when you start a program. It does take time to fit in on what works for you and what doesn't work for you. But
Mm.
once you fit it in, so example, Nick, this, I had a gym in my house. I thought, okay, fine. Instead of me doing the gym work in the morning, I'll do it later on. I kept on snoozing it. And by the time it comes to evening, I've eaten and I don't feel like doing the gym workout. So in terms of time, it doesn't because now after 3 to 4 months, I have fitted in well now. So now I'll get my gym workout done 5 o'clock in the morning, go for my walks, have my coffee done, have a clear mindset, have a quiet morning, get everything in my head. No, I know what I'm eating for the rest of the day. Everything's there done. When I come back home, which is about 9 o'clock-ish, um, I just work. And that's my work time. And then after evening, it's my kids' time, spend time with them. But because everything's so the thing that I learned from this program is planning and preparation, your fitness life. Once you do that, you have a lot of time in your hands.
Yeah.
Um,
And you
and
have
then
more, in fact, you probably find you have more time because you're not a flustered hot mess anymore, right? Everything is moving in sync, everything is smooth, the days are running smoothly, right? It's like, boom, gym, all right, relaxation time. Okay, now to get home, sort out the kids, log into work, you work for the day. Okay, log off from work. Okay, kids, family time. And then you're sort of again winding down, and that's how it's going, instead of it just being this crazy, wild day where you're sort of just playing it as you go along, sort of thing, right?
well, that's the thing, yeah. And I didn't realize, from this program, I'll get that benefits. That's spot on. Before was just like, you know, I couldn't do half an hour gym a day. It was like just thinking about, waking up, thinking about work, evening, thinking about work, just work, work, work. Weekends, maybe not think about work so much, but now it's like, okay, fine. This is my time to go gym. This is my time to do my prep. This is my work time. It's all like clear mind now, and much more happier. And that what helps me to have a better mindset 90% of the time, I'll say now. Whereas
Yeah.
before was better mindset, maybe 20% because it was just couldn't control my mindset. Don't know what to do. Just whatever's issue was looked like a big issue, which was work really, because no one's gonna pay you if you don't get stressed at work. So that's
Yeah.
why but yeah, from this program, you know, that is a big benefit for myself. And that's what I wanted. Having a clear head, clear mindset. But the other things that come along as well, I'm enjoying it, I haven't got a six pack yet, but
It's coming.
I'm
It's
ready for it.
coming.
It's coming. But um small things where I can cycle to work much better, be more confident. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
And
think
you haven't mentioned what else. I know when I asked you about your results, but this year also you've done a half marathon, which is the
yeah,
first time you've ever covered that distance. You've also done the London to Brighton cycle as well. Um, and the next thing on the cards, which I know that is in talks, you're thinking about it, is potentially stretching yourself, pushing yourself to aim for a marathon next year as well. So again, uh, it's unlock things, like you're trying new things. You want to go out there and push yourself and stuff like that, which maybe you never would have thought of before, right?
Yeah, 100%. Before was never ever anything that was challenging, not interested. But now it's like, now let me see what my body can do. Let me see what my limits are. Now I enjoy having a challenge in life. I enjoy get out of my comfort zone. I don't like being in my comfort zone. Um, and and yeah, again, it's all part of what we've done in this program. Having a better, healthy food intake, having a better lifestyle, and doing fitness workout, and that all adds up to your mental health. Definitely, it builds up, make you a better person.
100%, man. I have one more question about like your reservations and concerns about the program. And then I'm going to ask you about sort of, your biggest learnings and some tips and things like that. But I remember early on, when it's just come to my mind, one of the things that you were sort of concerned about is maybe a week or two into the program, you're like, man, Nick, do you think I should have gone for an in-person PT versus sort of doing this like, remote sort of coaching? A few people are telling me that it's better. Looking back, what are your thoughts on that now? Because do you remember you asking me that at the beginning?
Yeah, 100%,
Yeah, yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Like I said to you, in the beginning, it took me a bit of time to fit in, and which is natural because,
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
and the reason why I ask you this question because, you know, eh, we I'm paying you guys to for your knowledge, and I can ask the way this, you and Jamie and Vinay,
Mm.
can ask anything. So I didn't feel guilty asking you problem because I knew you were just there for best of me and look,
Yeah, I
um,
think I gave you a very sort of like balanced answer to that, right? I was like, well, look, this is the benefits of this is the benefits of this. Like, it's your
yeah.
decision here, right?
But yeah, just going back to the question, so I thought, how am I gonna, do I need someone next to me to train me? Then he said, no, look, do it this way, record it, we'll review it, and I've, now I'll recommend online coaching to everyone. Maybe it's not for everyone, but for me personally, it works because if I was to get a face-to-face coach, I have to be there at a gym at his time, and when an appointment is booked in. Whereas here with you, Nick, is more flexible. It's like, okay, fine. You know what? It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm up. I can't go to sleep. Let me just get the gym work done. Let me get everything done. Okay, fine. I'm not sure if I've done this exercise all right, or I don't know what I'm doing here. Nick, I'll message you. Is this all right? Is this good? And you come back to me straight away, or you say, Gops, let's catch up, let's touch a bit more now in our weekly review. So, yeah, online coach definitely fit into my personal lifestyle. And yeah, highly recommend it. You get a lot more benefits. Plus, like, a couple of days ago, I rang you up. So, Nick, I might be doing this with my work, or I might be doing this. Can you just advise me? That's always there. And sometimes you just need answers there. And yeah, having an online person there with the right knowledge, yeah, it's beautiful.
Excellent. What's been your biggest learning over the last 11 months? What's been the thing that's like been like, wow, okay, this is clicked now, I get it. What's been the biggest thing that you've felt has done that?
I would say, yes, I would say be more accountable. You know, don't underestimate, don't underestimate, sorry, or don't what do you call it?
Underestimate.
Underestimate tracking your food, weigh in all the matrix. It's all good. Meal preps. Um, but mostly I'll say, Nick, preparation, like how you taught me how to, prepare my fitness lifestyle and my fitness task and all that stuff. That was a big thing. I mean, yeah, um, mostly around that. And you know, be more happy, I guess. But there's a lot of things I've learned. But the biggest one, if I was to choose two things, I would say being more happier and being outside my comfort zone all the time and going out in the nature.
Amazing. Final question. What do you do when there are times of a lack of motivation? Because I'm sure there is. Like, look, not everyone wakes up every single day and is motivated. So what do you do? What keeps you going to keep striving for more, to keep pushing your goals and to stay on track when you have those off days, and you say, oh, can't be asked. Well, what's the key over here, or what's your secret for that?
So again, this program, I tried a few things. Um, but what works best for me is that, just waking up early in the morning, not looking at my phone, not looking at nothing, just get myself out to the gym. Um, Once I'm out of the gym, that's it. You know, I'm motivated. There's times where I'm unmotivated, where I don't feel like going or anything like that. But I know for myself that if I don't do half an hour exercise or 1 hour exercise, I'm not worth the rest of the day. I'll just sit there and watch Netflix, or
It sets the tone for the
I'll
day, doesn't it?
yeah, and everyone's different, isn't it, Nick? Everyone's different. And
They
for
are.
me, if I don't do my if I don't do my fitness task or exercise, which is like not more than and I know it's something with you, Nick, as well, the how you train it, but it's about 45 minutes, half an hour. But you're quite flexible. If I don't have time, you just slow it down. If I don't do that, then I end up eating more junk. I feel rubbish throughout the day.
Absolutely. It's
Yeah,
psychological.
oh,
I'm very similar to you in that sense. I have to do some form of movement. Now, to anyone listening, that doesn't mean that I go out and exercise or hit the gym every single day, but a part of each of my days, 7 days a week, there'll be some form of exercise, whether that is gym, run, even going to the park and running around with my kid, or just going outside and getting a walk. That has to be part of my daily routine, because if that doesn't happen, I'm very much like you. I could easily just have a lazy day, crack open a big packet of crisps and biscuits, sit there watching Netflix, and the psychologically, it doesn't set me up for the day. Whereas if I do have something daily like that, then I'm sorted. Like, food is on point, mind is on point, energy is on point. So yeah.
yeah, 100%. And just going back a bit, you know, you have helped me a lot with motivation, and you learn how I work as well. So I notice that Mondays you kind of don't give me a full 1 hour training. You give me maybe like a 45 minutes to a half an hour just to get me started and get the week right. Then it gets harder during the end of the week. So that's a good thing about you and this program is like you find a way to fit my lifestyle, sort of thing. You'll find the training, you'll find a food plan. Like before, we all thought Nick is gonna give us a um meal plan, and I'll be eating rabbit food all day long. But no, that's not the case. I'm more happier eating food now, and the relationship with my food is much better as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but
Gops makes a sick pizza, by the way, for anyone listening, and he has been eating his oven pizza as well, so it's doable. It is very, very doable.
it, it is doable, and I haven't sold it, and I still enjoy my pieces.
Absolutely, man. Thank you, thank you. Like, you have given me such a good insight into you, your journey, where you are, key points, your results. Um, I appreciate your time. Thank you for having a chat with me. And I guess I'll leave the floor to you. Is there any last notes or anything that you want to add before we call it a day?
Um, yeah, I mean, definitely either this program or definitely with this program or any program, you know, things have changed a lot. Now I see Nick at a coffee shop. I never used to drink coffee before, but just having that morning. Yeah, you definitely definitely invest in your health. Your kids will need you, and you enjoy holidays and you enjoy your life much more better. It's a really good investment. I can't, you know, this in my life, I think this is the best investment I've made. And yeah, there's a lot more of me coming as well. That I want to, that I want to experience. And yeah, things are beautiful. I think I'm going Bali. Yeah, going Bali in a month's time, and I'm just so ready for it in terms of fitness, what I'm going to do. I'll be running Bali as well. So yeah, there's a lot more. If you look after your body, you get a lot more in your life. And just do it the right way. Just get the right knowledge, do it right, do it the right way. Don't think that trying yourself, and because you just be undoing those habits, those bad habits they picked up. But yeah, just invest and yeah,
Thank you,
we'll
man.
see.
Thank you. That's wicked. That's wicked. Perfect, man. Thank you so much to you guys listening out there. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to us.